The Pulse of Spokane is a broad show that showcases many different things in our community, sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You. Well, welcome to a special edition of the Pulse of Spokane. And speaking of the Pulse and people who are active not only in our community, but have taken off to do greater things. Chris Patterson, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Kent? Thanks for having me on.
Doing doing all right. Hey, Chris, you have quite a history, and I'm thinking let's go back and talk about your career, literally from being in foster care, and then what happened, and let's kind of go there. Can you bring everybody up? I know so many people in Spokane know of you, but there are others that will be watching this as well. Talk about your foster care experience and what that did to you to be where you are now. It really uh, enabled you to move a lot of things forward.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Spokane, so Spokane always been home, and that community there is very exceptional and rare. It's something you just don't see in the country today. At least I'm biased, so I can say that. But I think the biggest thing for me is having lived my experiences in foster care. You know, from birth on to about 5 years of age, I was put in receiving homes, and at the age of 5, I was adopted by a family, and then later on put back into foster care at age 12. So my younger brother and I both were put in foster care. We were both adopted out of and put back into foster care. The age of I graduated from high school at the age of 19 from Riverside High School, and from there I went and after I aged out of the system, I ended up going to the Job Corps. Ended up enrolling in Spokane Community College and went to Eastern Washington University. Kind of found myself in the direction of actually wanted to go law enforcement, and then I realized that for me, I just had a natural fit of working with people in all aspects, whether it's autistic, schizophrenia, bipolar, dual diagnosed, Down syndrome. Yeah, it didn't matter. I actually had a passion for it. It was just a natural fit, like breathing air. And from there, I just ended up working in the field for 20 plus years and working with different companies and creating different things to where it's more successful, outcome-based programs that I expected, and trying to teach the youth and the kids and the staff that we work with that you have to work and you have to be sensible on the fact of what you're doing for vocational skill set training, working with employers, a lot of public-private partnerships, reaching outside the box with folks to try to make sure and think out how to do things differently, because it's not a one size fits all for any of these people we serve.
Right, right. I'm pleased to call you a friend, and as you know, um, my oldest boy is Down syndrome, turned 50 a few weeks ago, and so I love what you're doing and have been doing, and that heart and passion that you've had to make life better, having lived through that foster experience. You now work for Ben Carson, and he's kind of well known. Heads up Secretary of HUD and a fantastic guy. I've always admired him, and I'm sure you must be very pleased to work with somebody of that caliber and to do some things. What is your job right now?
My specific job is I'm the Region 9 HUD administrator, which covers California, Arizona, Nevada, Hawaii, Guam, the Pacific Islands. And on top of that role, the
Yes.
secretary had given honor of being the national lead for the Foster Youth to Independence Initiative, which was created by Secretary and 20 former and current foster youth who wrote this initiative to support kids aging out of the foster care system.
Yeah. That's a big concern for you, isn't it? It has been. It's a passion for you.
Yeah. It is. It's something I think it's a special population of folks. Not that there's not lots of population. We care about them all, but especially for these individuals that are aging out of the foster care system, we want better outcomes. We want better options for them. If we can show people that there's a pathway to success, can hard partner with different people, whether education, vocation, you know, I'll say it again, public-private partnerships, because you can't do it without it. And you have to have
Yeah.
everybody coming to the table. The bipartisan issue, not a partisan issue. This is something that affects everybody in the United States. It affects all labor, education, Department of Justice. It affects every federal agency out there. When kids end up coming through the system, they end up having a pathway to areas that we would like to not see have happen. So if we give them opportunities, having this initiative that was led by Secretary Carson, and I'm just his voice in the field, so I travel on behalf of him throughout the country. And when we announce grants, we announce different awards. Our intention is to make sure we meet with foster youth who are receiving these housing vouchers, meet with people who are actually receiving the services, the social workers, the public housing authorities, continuums of care, everybody who's actually working with these people. Every aspect of this is affected through another one of our initiatives, which is the opportunity zones. If you think about our current situation today with the coronavirus, how it is infecting our country, our youth, because
Yeah.
the colleges are closed, the public school systems are closed. These are all safety nets that every one of these kids and people have counted on for so long, that we now recognize how important it is. Not that we
What's
haven't
the
before, but
reception you're getting both from public and private folks that the initiative has partnered with? Um, uh, you're getting pretty good, solid support, and are they seeing this as something that they wish they'd had for a while?
yeah, they're very pleased. A lot of the folks that we meet, I would say every person we meet, whether it's professional or participant who's receiving services or hearing about it, the biggest thing right now is that they're actually happy to see that this is taking place. It gives people another opportunity. This is a standalone initiative just for kids who are aging out of the foster youth system. So this
Yeah.
is specifically for them. We also have family union vouchers, which is another piece which we try to support families, and that's our intention. We want to keep families together. The last thing we want to do is change the course of the direction. So it's very welcomed by all.
Well, and the important thing is that these young adults, because technically and legally, as they get out of foster care, they're adults. All of a sudden, life is so different for them. They've had this loving family that's been taking care of them and guiding them, and often that continues. That relationship continues, but not for all, and not all can benefit from that. What are you hearing back from some of the young foster adults that have taken advantage of this?
Yeah, it can be pretty emotional at times, and not just for them,
Oh,
but for us. Having the chance to be there with them when they walk into their first apartment. An example is when I was over in the Santa Ana area, and we had partnered with different public folks over there, whether it was the United Way or the Santa Ana Housing Authority or just any other private agencies that came together for it. There was a young man by the name of Christian that actually had got his first place on his own, was living on the streets, living in a men's shelter, just wasn't the place where you wanted a kid that age or anybody. And to have him have his own place, he was pretty excited. I mean, much so that, there was a lot of people following the success of that.
that is great. I've got to ask a question because I kind of indicated this before. I admire Ben Carson as a person, as a leader, uh, uh, as a representative of all of us, representing the president as well, of course. What is he like? You've had so much time to be with him and learn from him and share your history with him. It must be, I'm envious, okay?
He is a very humble man. He is exceptional with memory. He remembers every small detail. He pays attention to the things you least expect. He cares about everybody, especially when it comes to this particular population. Look at his background and the adversity that he and his family faced with his mother.
Yes.
You know, she could have easily taken a different approach, but she didn't. She kept the family together, which was extremely crucial to him. He talks about that, how important it was. His mother was a rock for him. You know, I've spent enough time talking about it, how important it is. He recognizes the importance of faith and family and community supporting each other. I'm very blessed in the fact that the time I get to spend with him out in the field or see, and he's just someone who is really articulate, he's precise, wants to see the best outcomes happen.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I envy you. Please say hi to him from Spokane and from myself. Love the work that you're doing, Chris, and that he's doing. Tell me, how many miles on the airplane have you had? How long have you been doing this now? It's been a year almost? Or
Yeah, it'll be a year, May 13th.
okay, May 13th. How many air miles do you have?
327,000 air miles.
Oh, gee. Okay. So now, do you need someone to carry your bags next time you go to Hawaii? I'm available. Okay.
Yeah, I do quite well independently.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Chris, on behalf of all of us in Spokane, your Rotary 21 Club, and the others that know you and love you and care about you and your family, you've got a beautiful family. We've had your wife on a couple of times, and I know that business is kind of closed right now because of all that's going on. I'm glad to see you being able to spend a little time at home. I know you make an effort to be here in Spokane as often as you can, but thank you for what you're doing and the leadership you're providing and helping all of these young men and women find homes, find a future. That's important. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Allow me to be on the show.
Okay. Take care and have a good day. Thanks for watching the
You
special
too.
edition of The Pulse of Spokane.
Here at River Ridge Hardware, we can match any color for you. So you need this color matched for your trim in your bathroom. Come to the color computer, stick it into the spectrometer, and allow the machine to do its thing, and it will match your trim exactly. So whether it was done by water damage or a young child, we can get you covered and get it matched. If you do need to have something so that it completely disappears, I can certainly help you with that one as well. Along with the spectrometer color matching capability that can match any competitor's paint color, we have a beautiful color palette that can help you start any new project. Give us a try.
After I got divorced, I had medical debt, credit card debt, and student loan debt. I was dealing with a lot of guilt. I found myself shopping to feel better. When my son was born, wanting to manage my finances was no longer a want, it was actually a need. STCU made that possible for me. I use the mobile app every single day. I'm able to color code all of my different savings accounts. And when you have nice things to look at, I think it brings you on a deeper level of motivation. I'm Kamika Love, the Budget Mom, and STCU is here for good.
This is Bloomsday in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Bloomsday.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate, but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part. especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Bloom's Day wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.